several years ago, there was a business group that they had been formed, and their goal was to reach out to a lot of our existing customers. And this is when I worked at a prior organization. And their goal was to reach out to existing customers and really gauge how the investment was going. The intent was to be a customer service one, but also to have line of sight to upsell and cross-sell solutions. And the team was not functioning very well. In fact, they were doing 70, 75% to goal traditionally for a period of several months. And it was actually, they were being looked at to disband this group. Now, a lot of these people, they would have had jobs within our organization. They just would have been put back into kind of a demoted role. But people's jobs and livelihoods would have been impacted. And this was a team that was started with a very clear vision that was, everybody agreed was of value. So while they were being discussed in one of our leadership meetings, the team's intent was to, just decide, do we want to just cut this group on the spot and put them back into their old roles? Do we want to give them any additional opportunity to come together and achieve the goal? I volunteered to take this team under my purview. I had an entire other team, and I took this team under my purview. They did 78% to goal that month prior to coming under my umbrella. Now, here's the key thing. I came in immediately, Elena, and I think a lot of times when there's a new manager, a new leader, people expect them to just come in and start making knee-jerk reactions and changes and just saying, this is wrong, this is broken, and making changes accordingly. And I did none of that. I sat with the team. I spent time with them, full days, just sitting there, listening to calls, getting their feedback, spent time with them one-to-one and also one-to-many, and, formed focus groups and betterment committees, and really spent time over those really couple of weeks right after working with this team, understanding, look, team, hey, this is the state that we're in. We need to have a very quick turnaround and show the value that this team can have to the organization. But I want you to be active participants in figuring out, how do we do that? We're going to have to make some changes. We're going to have to make some maybe cuts to the amount of prep time that we have between calls. We're going to have to make some changes to the call flow and things of that nature. But I want you to be an active part of all of that. So within the first 2 weeks, we made some changes. We cut the call time in between calls because, frankly, a lot of the calls that we were making, we realized weren't resulting in a customer conversation. So it was meaningless and it was hurting their productivity. And so we made some shifts around that. We changed some of the call flow and the structure based on feedback and inputs that were coming from the team. Long story short, or long story long, they were a very active participant in figuring out the strategy to take us forward. That first month that we worked together, we did 141% to the goal, best month they had ever had, and they still exist today. That was a decade ago. I guess the point is that when teams work connectedly to acknowledge the challenges that they're up against and to formulate a strategy and a plan that is in the best interest of the team moving forward, anything is possible.
Well, yeah, I love this story, Carson. Thank you for sharing. We really